What's going on, IRL Nation? Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to the show. I know, I did a little something on the end of the last episode. Left you on a to be continued. It's a lot like being left on red. To be continued was the original left on red BTW, but here it is, part 2 of the Stranger Kings episode, The Words. Giving you guys a little more background on us, me and my brother, and our upbringing, and really giving you guys just, that background information, that background look, the ways that made us who we are. Here you guys go, part 2.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Yeah.
Hey, man. So, I'm going to say some phrases.
Don't.
Don't do it. Okay.
You can.
So,
We're doing it. We're doing it.
So, the biggest
I
one,
agree.
I'm only going to the biggest one. The meek shall inherit the earth.
Yep.
That one?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that one.
So they're either only referring to that with inheritance, or they're talking about the people they think are going to rule in heaven with Jesus, their inheritance. That's what they're referring to. With that word. One of those two things.
Right. And then this is another one of those levels that you're trying to get to. You're trying to inherit paradise. You're trying to inherit the kingdom. You're trying to get the level up that would get you this inheritance. And man, like, this is one of those ones that sneaks up on you because you don't really hear it all the time.
Right.
But when you do, let me tell you, man, that samurai sword comes out real quick and gets you.
Because it comes with all that baggage,
right,
of you striving to be good enough, which you never reach.
Right. You're never good enough.
They constantly are telling you that it's undeserved.
That goalpost is moved all the time.
You don't deserve this. Jesus died for your sins because you're a piece of shit. You can never earn this. But then you were trying to earn it. They also have the same.
Oh, you're always trying to get it.
They also say, oh, you have to do this in order to get to the paradise.
Yep.
So you're constantly just striving for this thing you never can reach.
Yep. Yeah. Inherit.
So paradise was we kind of talked about paradise. So witnesses believe that after Armageddon, everybody lives happily ever after on a paradise earth.
I love how you just went there. Paradise number 4 on my list.
Damn.
It's in that top 5.
Why is it so heavy for you?
Well, why don't you do your little, because yours is, you led into it just all nice and friendly. Just go ahead and do yours, then I'll get deep.
Okay. For me, so there's a song Paradise, right? And I can't really listen to it.
No.
Because I hear the word and I think about how much.
I got 2 tickets.
Not even just that one. Paradise.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so I think about how often that was on my mind. How often they talk about it. Because witnesses believe that this current life, the one you're living right now, is nothing. It's trash. You're waiting for the real life. You want to get to that next life, that one in paradise. And so you don't save for retirement. You don't go to college. You don't do anything in this one. Right. Because you're living for the next one.
You're living for the next one.
So so you're constantly denying yourself everything in this current state because you're trying to get to that perfect paradise, which is just a fantasy. And so when I hear that, I think about that struggle within myself of, no, Kevin, you can't have this. You can't do this because you're saving it all for paradise. You know?
Yeah. I'm really glad it's not that, like, it's not like it's heavy for you.
It's not as heavy for me.
Like, I'm really glad. Because hear you talk about it, it's like, oh, man, I have this, hopefully I can get to where it doesn't have to be as heavy.
Well, there's ones that hit me.
Right.
Yeah.
But, so Paradise for me, forgive me, y'all, it's about to get real. Because, again,
it's been real.
Oh, it's been real, but we're about to, so I have to kind of give a little bit of context here for why paradise is such a big deal. Being raised in the religion, and I almost said the word, is, I don't want to say all of it was negative. And it's very hard for me to say that because it comes from a very negative place.
Yes.
This is me using some of the skills and tools that I've got in therapy, gaining some skills through information, and kind of giving credit where credit is due, where paradise was a goal. Paradise was a light at the end of the tunnel. Being firstborn, being in the family that we were, mother, once again,
Nope.
not touching that.
Nope.
But paradise was the goal.
Yes.
Coming out of all that. So it was what I latched onto as a, all right, well, if I just make it, if I get through this, if I get through the next step, if I make it through high school as a J-Dub, if I do the right things, I'm going to get paradise. I'm going to get my reward.
It'll be better. Yeah.
It'll be better. I've done the right things. I've said the right stuff. I've got it. Okay. And I will get paradise because I've proven that I've earned it. So having that be the goal, because again, it's paradise, man.
Yeah.
And I went in. I have a great imagination. I built my paradise. I built what it looked like. And coming out of the truth the way I did, there was a moment that really solidified my decision when it came to, we're not going to that. We're not gonna go into that story. But there was a moment where I had to make a choice. And this choice was by far the hardest choice I've ever had to make to this day.
To this day.
And because of that, it shattered my whole concept of paradise. Because again, I was building it. I was putting people in it.
Right.
I was looking at what it would look like because paradise was the goal. So I built it, and then it got shattered.
Yeah.
So paradise is a huge word for me because I really wanted paradise. I still do want paradise, but I have a hard time calling it that because of how shattered my world was. So I call it my realm, my kingdom, which again is hard, which the afterlife, the thing that I'm going after. I still have a hard time figuring out that word because having put, and again, this is when you're impressionable. So you're a teenager, you're young, you're putting all you're in. You're not really scarred yet because the world hasn't, cut you deep yet. Having had that built up image of paradise and then having it taken away, like obviously there's going to be trauma there. And it kind of surrounds itself around that word paradise. And that's number 4 on my list.
Yeah, dude.
Right. So, paradise.
It's so heavy. And that was really well said because it illustrates one of the mechanisms. Like, that's how you stay a witness, right? Because you're so unhappy.
You're so unhappy.
You're so unhappy. And so, in order to not distract you, but in order to take your attention away from your current life, you spend all this time and energy focusing on this goal that they set in front of you.
Right.
Right. So you made it real because that's what you have to do.
You have to make it real.
You have to make it real in order to not live right now.
Right.
Right. You have to just dream up this great thing because you're so unhappy. You just trade it. You're trading it for this fantasy.
Yes. Wow, right?
Yeah.
Crazy. Which I'm really glad we're doing this list because we might even have the same word, but it shows the word itself has a very different meaning to other people, which is it's still triggered.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Yes.
Because that's not as
it's not deep like that for you.
It's not the same reaction.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. So since you decided to go ahead and say paradise,
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and say. So my next one,
you're not gonna one up me.
I'm not gonna one up you. Well, I might because my number one word is not your number one.
Okay, go ahead.
My next one that I'm gonna choose to talk about, because I don't know why I didn't put those two together, is shepherd.
I had that one. Yep.
Shepherd is number 6 on my list. Only because
fuck those guys.
Yeah. And I have the great experience of being a gamer. So all of you gamers out there who know who Commander Shepard is, shout out to Mass Effect. If you know anything about that game, that word comes up a lot. That is the dude's name. And there was 3 games that they released with it. So Shepard is up there, and it's kind of sad because the concept.
It's a great concept.
Yeah,
right?
The concept is great.
The imagery is great.
Yeah, but
however,
Shepard is
so
you can't detach from it.
What that means. So there's 2 kind of meanings to that. He's talking about the guys in the congregation.
Yep.
They're called elders.
Also a word.
Also a word. So they're the ones who give the sermons and who manage the money and who do and the ones who punish you when you've done something wrong. Yep. They're the higher ups. And then higher than them is this image of Jesus as like the great shepherd, right? He's supposed to be this loving
shepherd, the flock,
like coddling, exactly, figure. But the whole time they're abusing you.
100%.
The whole time, physical, sexual, emotional, spiritual. The whole time they're abusing you.
Yep.
Not everybody has the same experience, but it twists this really kind of like nice thought into something really gross.
Right. Because it does, like, when they use the word shepherd, they really mean we're going to abuse you, but we're going to call it shepherding.
Yeah.
So we can get away with it.
Right.
We're going to put this nice little, lipstick on this pig.
They twist it.
And make it to where you want to be shepherd.
Right.
Shepherd?
Yeah.
Because, again, you're so deep in this world where you literally are isolated from everything else. Your entire world goes through this thing. So obviously you want to, as a kid, because again, you're a child, impressionable, don't know what to do with life. Hey man, I need some guidance. I don't know what I'm feeling in my body. I don't know why I'm having these thoughts. Why do I think this way? Why do I have this question?
So you go to these dudes.
So you go to the dudes, and again, elder is one of my words. You go to the dude, and you say, hey man, what's going on? And then they give you some abuse.
Yep.
You're a failure. You shouldn't have those thoughts.
And they twist that.
And they twist it
into thinking that
and they
that's
call it
love.
shepherding. Yeah.
Like that them beating on you,
right.
Emotionally or whatever. They twist it and say, oh, that, God's only doing that. They're only doing that because they care about you.
Right. I'm only hitting you because I care about you. I'm only raping you because I care about you. I'm only getting so deep in your mind to mess your whole brain up because I care about you.
Right. They twist it.
Oh. Yeah. So, shepherd.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that one. I didn't think that one would land as hard as it just landed. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. That one hit. Right? That one hit harder because there's a parental kind of atmosphere to it.
Yes.
And we have complicated relationships with both parents. We have a very, very thin well, they're both thin now. But we didn't really have a father at all growing up. And
the family episode's coming, guys. We'll get into that.
Yeah. And so, there's this kind of like parental aspect to it, but then they're just hurting you.
They're just hurting you.
And they're hurting
straight
you
up.
And they're calling it love.
They're straight up hurting you and calling it love.
Yes.
Yeah. Under the guise of being, this higher up.
Right. And they're just people. They're just people, but they get treated and referred to as if they're this extension of God.
Right. So they have that weight.
Yes.
Like they were chosen by God to give you this extra weight.
Yeah. Okay.
What's your next word, bro?
Man, I have a very strong desire to just burn through these.
Go
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yes,
all right. Thanks, everybody.
Just read the list and go.
Jeez, look it up on your own.
Right. Oh man.
All right. I'm gonna do. Hopefully, this one doesn't hurt. Pioneer.
That doesn't register for me.
Yes. I got one in. Yeah.
You got one in. That doesn't even click.
Easy one.
Yeah.
Okay, so a pioneer. You think about that. You think about people heading out west to and
discover
and blazing this trail, right? You think that's a pioneer.
Yeah. That's what it's supposed to be.
Right. In the witness culture, a pioneer is somebody. It's a status, I guess. It's a special term. It's something you.
It's definitely a
It's
status.
like something you have to try out for.
Oh yeah, you have to
and
prove,
not everybody
apply.
gets accepted. Yeah. And,
It's definitely like an elite class.
It's a status. And so these people, you apply and you get approved or denied
right
to be this thing. And what comes with that is a certain amount of hours per month you're supposed to be out preaching,
which fluctuates, ladies and gentlemen.
Fluctuates.
It's not a standard that they hold on
So
to. They like to move that goalpost too.
But also, kind of the unspoken things that come with it is one, the status. People think you're a little bit holier than others.
Yep. Because you have proven and applied for
exactly, and you people kind of look at you as like this example.
Yeah.
So there's all these extra kind of levels to it.
Right. So now, because again, the hierarchy, which I wish we could just like go through the hierarchy and give them a list. I'm not doing that today.
No.
We're already too deep.
Yeah.
But so you'll get that hierarchy at some point, sometime. I guarantee you. But there are levels to, there's classes. There's classes.
Absolutely.
And there's even junior members, pioneers.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm glad you talked about it because I can talk about this one. That's not as like heavy because being a pioneer I hated that word. I hated it at the beginning.
Yeah. So my brother was one for a short period of time.
I was one for a very short period of time. Yeah. And I learned because again, I was a good soldier of God. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I was the best soldier of God. I made sure I was going to heaven, in paradise. I bought in. I went hard to get in. And then, however hard you go, that's how hard you come out.
Yeah.
So being a pioneer meant you literally dedicated your life now.
Yep.
There was no longer a separation from the church, from the world. You are now all bent in on the church.
God owns your ass.
100%. Because again, you already went to 4 meetings a week.
Yeah.
And now you're doing 50 plus hours going to convert people.
And you have a pioneer school.
You have a pioneer school
you go to.
Right.
Right.
You're being taught techniques and words and phrases and how to become the best pioneer, which, again, they still say, we're not trying to convert people, but these are like the specialists that convert people.
They are. Yeah.
The TVA, if you will. Which is exactly what it is, right? You're going to this school, you're trying to get these people in, you're going to spend another 50, 60 hours of the month trying to, and now you're again, it's a time commitment.
Yes.
You're going to school. So there's a whole thing.
There's something, that brings up a point I want to make, which I know we'll talk about on all our conversations.
Yep.
That the more someone does as a witness, likely it's because they're that much more unhappy.
Yes.
Right? They are trying because that's what they tell you.
Yes.
They tell you, oh, you're not happy. Well, pray more. Do more, during the meeting.
Oh, you're spiritually weak.
You're spiritually weak. And so they're like, you need to build up your strength as a spiritual person. And so the answer every time is you need to do more.
Do more.
And so
more.
Yeah.
More.
And so that's this theme, and all that boils down to in somebody's head is I'm the problem.
Yeah.
I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm, whatever status, I'm whatever rank, I'm whatever. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm still not happy. It's me. It's my fault.
Yeah.
Which is a theme for witnesses.
This is a very big theme.
No one's happy.
No one's ever happy. Because they keep digging into things. They make you dig into things that are going to make you more happy.
Right. You're just busy. You're just too busy to do anything else.
You're too busy to do anything else. Which
they do on purpose.
It's a cult, people.
Yeah.
Understand it's a cult. That's the whole reason, to get away with it. Yeah. It's because it's a cult. And I'm not even getting into the deep, dark shit. You guys think this is just words, y'all?
There's way more.
This is just words.
This is just language that
we're just translating.
We have to sort through now.
Yes. There are actions. There are. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad to talk about it. I got to talk about a lighter one.
Yeah, that was good.
That was good. Let's see. So we talked about that. We talked about that. That one. All right. So I'm going to do this one. Father.
I had that one also.
Yeah. There's multiple
this
things
one's layered.
about Father. Not just the J-Dub world, but
in our own personal
life.
Outside of that.
I'm gonna try and stick to the J-Dub Father.
Okay.
So Father is God. There is no man that is associated to being a father Father is God. And I still have a hard time saying Jehovah. And I thought about this actually yesterday, where why doesn't anybody name their child Jehovah? And then in my brain, my cynical brain, because again, I'm bitter, jaded, been hurt, and I was like, you know what? My next son is going to be named Jehovah King. And I was like,
No.
yo, that's a dope name.
No.
But at the same time, I'm not going to test that.
Nah, dude.
As broken as I am, I'm not trying to.
I'm out on
not
that
trying
one.
to touch that button.
Yeah.
Like, and that's part of it, right? Where you don't think about, like, it's like, oh man, even the naming your child Jehovah, like, that's such a hey, bro, you can't really do. Hey, man, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's a thing, right? Mexicans call their kids Jesus all the time.
I know.
They just happen to say it different.
Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah. So why not Jehovah? And I saw it was a chick's backpack that said the name. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh no. And I knew instantly because only Jehovah's Witnesses proclaim Jehovah.
They're so about it.
They're so about it.
So
about it. And so, Father. That is the Father. If you're talking about Jehovah, you're talking about Father. Father is Jehovah. That's synonymous. That's what happens. So, when you say Father,
right,
and Father's everywhere, and now the deity or entity that is God is now your Father, who you never get to talk to, really. You never get to hear from, really. You never get to have that direct connection. He's always just out of reach, but he's present.
Yes.
And that's on purpose. That's 100% on purpose.
That's how it all stays together.
So, Father. Yeah, man, that's a hard one because I am a father now.
Right.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, having that and being that, it's like, oh, man, that is a hard pill to swallow because I don't want to be the quintessential template that was etched into my mind.
Because you were told you were told so many times, this is what a father is supposed to be like, and so it's kind of not impossible, but it's really tricky to peel all that rhetoric out of it.
Yes, because there is, like I said, it's the disassociating from that idea that has now been labeled as such. That's why it's hard.
Yeah.
So for you, Father,
it's so same, but also obviously our dad, not really being in the picture.
Yep,
it kind of complicates it, but the same as you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love how you just kind of skated by that.
Yeah,
I love how I was like, what are you talking about? Which, hey man,
yeah,
I get it.
This is hard, man.
This is really hard. I get it. So, you want to do next word?
Yeah. So along those lines, brother and brotherhood.
Okay, so this is number 2. This is number 2 on my list, and I'm glad we're talking about it now. This is getting really hard. And I'm not talking.
I'm running
out of Steve on
seriously
sanity. So when he says brother and brotherhood, I also include sister and sisterhood in that. Yeah. And we're not talking about brother, bro. We're talking about the hard R's here, people. The hard R's.
Hard R's. Yes.
There has to be a hard R on there. Brother, sister, brotherhood, sisterhood. There has to be that R on there. So yes, I'm glad we're talking about it.
So that's how witnesses refer to themselves. It's brother so-and-so, brother this, brother that. And so we were Brother King for a long time. That's how they talk to you. And you hear it from birth.
From birth.
You hear it. That's the only way they talk about you.
Yes.
And so it just becomes second language.
That is your reference.
Yeah.
You are calling that person that name.
And so that just becomes the way you refer to people as brother this or sister this, not really realizing that's how brainwashing that is.
Yeah.
And again, very culty.
Very culty.
Not all. I mean, obviously there are religions that do that probably aren't as culty, but
this is a part of your name.
It's a part of your name. And the idea is that we're this family unit, that we're all supposed to be in this brotherhood, and that's how they refer to the.
That's kind of how they refer it. Yeah.
To the the overarching group of witnesses. The brotherhood.
Yeah. We joked around because again, we are brothers.
Yep.
So
actual brothers,
actual flesh and blood brothers.
Yeah.
So being called Brother King had this double entendre of, well, who's my brother? Wait a minute.
Actual
And
brother.
Actual brothers. So like we have this bond of being brothers, and then we hear it called to other people. Oh, Brother Johnson. Oh well, we don't have that same. Am I supposed to have that same?
Right. Is it? It's not. Is it supposed to be the
It's
same?
supposed to be the same level because it doesn't feel like the same level.
No.
Because again, and then the elders, which I will have a whole monologue on elders. They're also called brothers.
Yes.
Not elder this, elder that. They're also called brothers.
Yes.
Sisters are also like there's this. That's like the Unicode of the language. So having this brother connection with my actual brother, then having to call other people my brothers and sisters.
If it's the same.
As if it's the same.
If it's the same, yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's real rough. Because even now, I'll hear it. Like I'll hear people in wherever. Oh, Brothers King. Oh, the King Bros. Like King Brothers. It's like, you're flirting.
Don't
you're
like that.
Yeah. And then I know when people like call other people things, because you'll hear witnesses out and about, like they'll be in the mall or whatever.
Yes.
And then you'll hear the conversation. Oh, we were with brother so and so. We were sister so and so.
Yeah.
Like no.
You stop that right now.
Right now. And it's like, man, you guys.
They can't even
They
see.
don't even see it.
They are so blinded.
That was one of the ones that really was a bigger difference coming out. Because again, this is how you referenced everybody.
Everyone.
You knew their last name only.
Yes.
Really didn't know their first name, and it was first name brother, first name sister, last name.
Yes.
And so coming out, I thought that's how people talk. I thought that's just what you did.
Because that's how we did talk.
That's how you did
That's
talk.
how we talked since we were little kids.
Negative. Okay?
Yeah.
Everyone went by their first name.